The White Rabbit and the Girl from Another World. Long ago, beside a quiet lake hidden among rolling green hills, there lived a little white rabbit. He lived alone in a cozy burrow beneath the roots of an old oak tree. Every morning, he would wake with the first golden rays of sunlight and step outside to greet the day. The lake was always full of life. A cheerful frog spent his mornings leaping across lily pads. A duck glided peacefully through the sparkling water, and high above them, a small bird sang beautiful melodies from her nest among the branches. The White Rabbit watched them every day. He watched them laugh, play, and enjoy one another's company, and every day he wished he could join them. One bright morning, gathering all his courage, the rabbit hopped toward the lake. "Good morning," he said softly. "May I play with you?" The frog looked up. Before the rabbit could take another step, the frog jumped into the water with a splash. The duck quickly paddled away across the lake. The bird fluttered her wings and flew back to her nest. The rabbit stopped. His ears drooped. His heart felt heavy. Slowly, he turned around and returned to his burrow. That evening, while the stars appeared one by one in the darkening sky, the little rabbit curled up in his bed of soft grass and cried. "Why don't I have any friends?" he whispered. "Why does nobody want to play with me?" The night offered no answer. The moon simply watched over him in silence. Days passed, then weeks. Every morning, the rabbit would try again. And every morning, the same thing happened. The frog disappeared into the water. The duck swam away. The bird flew back to her nest. Eventually, the rabbit stopped trying. He spent most of his days sitting beneath the oak tree, watching clouds drift across the sky. Sometimes he imagined having a friend, someone who would sit beside him, someone who would listen, someone who would stay. As summer arrived, warm breezes danced across the fields. Wildflowers bloomed everywhere. The air smelled sweet and fresh. Yet despite all the beauty around him, the rabbit still felt lonely. Then one afternoon, something unusual happened. A sound floated through the forest. A soft melody. A gentle humming unlike anything the rabbit had ever heard before. Curious, he lifted his head. The song grew closer. Soon, he saw someone walking along the path beside the lake. It was a little girl. In one hand, she carried a bundle of colorful wildflowers. The sunlight danced through her hair as she hummed her cheerful tune. The rabbit had never seen a human before. He froze. The girl noticed him immediately. Her eyes widened with delight. "Oh!" she exclaimed. "Look at you!" The rabbit's heart began racing. He wasn't sure whether to run or stay. But before he could decide, the girl carefully approached him. Unlike the other animals, she did not leave. She did not turn away. She did not pretend he wasn't there. Instead, she knelt beside him with a bright smile. "You're beautiful," she whispered. The rabbit blinked. No one had ever said that to him before. The girl gently lifted him into her arms. Startled, the rabbit squeezed his eyes shut. For a moment, he was terrified. The ground disappeared beneath him. The wind brushed against his fur. Everything felt strange and unfamiliar. Then he felt something soft, a kiss upon his forehead. Slowly, he opened one eye. The girl was smiling. She tucked a tiny flower behind his ear. "There," she said. "Now you're perfect." The rabbit did not know why, but something inside him felt warm for the first time in a very long while. He didn't feel invisible. The girl sat beneath the oak tree with him for the rest of the afternoon. She spoke about clouds, flowers, birds, and all the little things she loved. The rabbit couldn't answer with words, but he listened carefully, and somehow that seemed enough. As the sun began to set, the girl stood. "I have to go home," she said sadly. The rabbit's heart sank. Not again, he thought. Everyone always leaves. The girl looked at him thoughtfully. Then she smiled. "Would you like to come with me?" The rabbit tilted his head. The invitation felt impossible. Yet somehow, he trusted her. So together, they left the lakeside behind. The rabbit looked back one last time. The frog was resting on a lily pad. The duck floated quietly on the water. The bird perched near her nest. None of them noticed him leaving, and for once, that didn't hurt. The girl's home stood beyond the hills, surrounded by flowers and fruit trees. It was warm and welcoming. That evening, the rabbit explored every corner. He discovered soft blankets, sunny windows, and, to his great delight, a basket filled with fresh carrots. The girl laughed as he eagerly nibbled one. "Looks like we're going to get along just fine," she said. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. The rabbit and the girl became inseparable. Every morning, they explored the garden together. They watched butterflies drift through the air. They rested beneath the shade of trees. Sometimes they sat quietly, listening to the wind. Sometimes they played until sunset painted the sky orange and gold. The rabbit had finally found what he had searched for all along. Not just companionship, belonging. The feeling of being wanted, of being chosen. One evening, while the girl was reading beside the fireplace, the rabbit rested comfortably in her lap. Rain tapped gently against the windows. The room glowed with golden light. For a moment, the rabbit thought about the lake. He remembered the frog, the duck, the bird. He remembered all the lonely days, all the tears, all the questions he had asked the night sky. Surprisingly, those memories no longer hurt. The sadness had faded. Not because he had forgotten, but because he had found something greater. The girl stroked his soft white fur. "You know," she said, "I think we were meant to find each other." The rabbit closed his eyes. Maybe she was right. Perhaps some friendships begin where we expect them, and perhaps others arrive from places we never imagined. That night, the girl's mother tucked her into bed. The rabbit curled up beside her, as he did every evening. Outside, the stars shone brightly above the sleeping world. The girl's mother smiled as she watched them. Then she spoke softly, almost like a whisper carried by the night breeze. "Sometimes," she said, "we receive what our hearts desire, but not from where we expect it to come. The little girl listened carefully. The rabbit twitched one ear. "Life has a curious way of surprising us," her mother continued. "When one door remains closed, another may quietly open somewhere else. When one path leads nowhere, another may lead exactly where we are meant to be." The room grew peaceful. The stars sparkled beyond the window. "And sometimes," she whispered, "the greatest gifts come from a different side of the world entirely." The girl smiled. The rabbit nestled closer beside her. Together, they drifted into sleep, surrounded by warmth, comfort, and love. And as dreams carried them gently into the night, the little white rabbit finally understood something he had once thought impossible. He had never truly been alone. His friend had simply been on her way. The end. He had never truly been forgotten. His friend had simply been walking toward him all along.